Hi, my name is Gail Berry. I am an international expert on parent and baby wellness, and I am the founder of Blossom and Berry. I'm so happy that you've connected with me here today because this could be one of the most powerful videos that you will see as a parent. And that's not just for you or your baby or your family, but it's actually for the world. Because for the last 20 years, I've been on a mission to teach the importance of love and nurturing care around the world through my community of over 2,000 teachers. And together, we've impacted millions of babies. And right here, right now, I believe that humanity is a little bit heartbroken and that the world needs a whole lot of love. 17 billion pounds is being spent on mental health challenges by the NHS every single year. 1 in 5 new mothers is diagnosed with postnatal depression. 1 in 10 new fathers has a mental health challenge. Now, in my recent research looking at the UNICEF report on the state of the world, the state of children in the world right now, every 11 minutes, a child between 13 and 19 takes their own life. Every 11 minutes. And I can just feel that in my body. This is completely unacceptable. And we have to do something about this now. Now, at the same time as this mental health epidemic that is spreading across the world, the global wellness industry is now worth over $7 trillion. So, as adults, we're trying to help ourselves, we're trying to heal ourselves, we're trying to make things better, but we're simply not moving the needle. But I think I know a way to mend humanity's broken heart. It's something I've been in devotion to for the last 20 years, and it's something that can change the world in just 1001 days. And that thing is babies. Now, babies are the future. They're the future leaders, innovators, caretakers, parents, creatives. Babies are the future, and the future is literally in our hands. Now, science and research tells us that in the first 1001 days of life, there is a critical window of opportunity where love and nurturing care can help us to all reach our full potential. And it's during this period that for babies, brain development is happening at the most rapid rate. Emotional intelligence is developing. Babies are learning about human relationships and where they belong in the world. It's as easy as we reap what we sow, and what happens to us in the first 1001 days of life vastly and significantly impacts the other 30,000 days of our life. It is much easier to grow strong, resilient, happy, and healthy children than to fix broken, stressed out, and anxious adults. We've got to look at the beginning rather than the end. Now, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been a baby? I think I know the answer because we've all started life as babies. We all come into this world as a spark of divine consciousness, of creative potential to do anything and be anything. And I believe that that creative potential is love, and that babies are the embodiment of this. Now, if you've ever spent time with a baby, you will know they are wise, they are connected to their bodies, they are honest, they express their needs, they are non-judgmental, they are connected to the magic and the wonder of life. Babies are powerful teachers, and they help us remember what we have forgotten, which is that we are, in essence, 100% love. So what is happening if babies, and we're all being born as 100% love, and we have this creative potential to be anything and do anything? Why aren't we living in a world that is connected and happy and harmonious and peaceful? Well, science and research tells us that there are 2 factors that affect our potential as human beings. One is nature and the other one is nurture. Nature is our biology, our genetics, our lineage, and nature is our parents, our family, and community. And what we have found out from recent studies is that it's actually 90% nurture and only 10% nature. So the amount of love and nurturing care that we receive in the first 1001 days of life is game changing. It is absolutely vitally important. So, what happens to us during these early experiences? Well, the first environment that we come into is the environment of our mother's womb. So, we're profoundly affected by her health and well being, and that is influenced by her age, her race, her economic status, her education, her access to food security, sanitation, clean water, and also her exposure to things like war, violence, toxicity, and stress. Everything that's happening to your mother before you were born is directly affecting you. And then you're born, which in the West can be a traumatizing and isolating experience where the first people you meet are the medical profession who are assessing you as to how big you are, how much you weigh, how responsive you are, and whether you're normal. Then you get to meet your parents, which sounds like it would be fun. But if you've ever been a parent, you'll know that before your baby has even been born, that you have expectations, you have dreams, you have wishes that perhaps you haven't fulfilled in your own life that you start projecting onto your baby. Plus, you have how you've been parented yourself, you have your own subconscious beliefs and patterns, and you're affected by society. And if we look at the values of society in the UK, there is a push towards self sufficiency and independence far too soon. And it goes against our mammalian instinct to evolve slowly in close physical proximity to our parent and caregiver so that we build up safety and trust and we regulate our nervous system. And if you're a baby being born in the world right here, right now, you're being born into a world full of multiple wars, climate change, and a mental health epidemic. We've got to do something to change humanity. And we can do that by how we actually interact with our babies. Now, there is this good news because every day we have an opportunity to do this because humanity renews itself. 350,000 babies are born every day. So if we focus our attention on love and nurturing care, we can nurture the future one baby at a time. So my message over the last 20 years is a simple one, and that is that love creates love. When we love and nurture and support parents, they have a greater capacity to love and nurture and support babies who grow knowing that the world is a loving, more nurturing and supportive place. They then interact with their friends in this way. And this is how we change the values of society by investing in them at the beginning. Now, I found this work over 22 years ago when I had my daughter Emily. I was a nervous new parent. She was a super colicky baby, and I didn't know what to do. A friend suggested I went to a baby massage class, and that one class, that 60 minutes, completely changed my life. Because when I went into that class, I connected with Emily really deeply through nurturing touch. I came out of my head and into my heart. I let go of expectations and just went into the experience of co creating with Emily, letting go of what I should be doing and deciding to simply be me, to trust that everything was going to be okay and that we were on this journey together. And it was such a profound moment that by the time I left that class, I had decided to give up my career as a project finance lawyer in the city and train to teach love by becoming a baby massage teacher. Now, that was over 22 years ago, and I have founded Blossom and Berry, my global business, with our international family of over 2,000 teachers, holding safe spaces for parents and babies through love, connection, and nurturing touch. And we've impacted millions of babies. So, how we do that is through the power of nurturing touch, which is incredibly powerful. It's cross cultural, intergenerational, and it's our mammalian instinct to connect. Now, science tells us that there are 5 powerful ways to create connection between human beings and particularly parents and babies. The first one is eye contact, so eye gazing at your baby. The second one is using your voice, which can be singing, storytelling, talking to your baby. The third one is to exchange smells when we come close to each other and we cuddle and we get to enjoy being in each other's physical presence. The fourth one is touch. And the fifth one is the presence of a hormone called oxytocin, which is known as the love hormone. And it actually chemically helps us fall in love with each other. So these are the 5 key elements. And at Blossom and Berry, we talk about, are you getting your 5 a day? Not your 5 fruit and vegetables and nourishing your body, but 5 a day to nourish your heart and nourish your soul. Because when you practice baby massage, those 5 things are present. So we talk about creating a love bubble at Blossom and Berry, which is a sacred space for you to connect with your baby, to come and be present, to give your time and energy, to communicate to your baby that they're seen, they're heard, they're accepted, and they're loved, because this is the foundation of mental health and well-being. We also teach about a concept called the love loop, which is very similar to the idea of serve and return. So this is that when babies are reaching out to communicate with us as adults, as parents and carers, how we respond to those babies is how the babies learn about the world. So this is why it's so important to safeguard parent and carer health, mental health and well-being, because parents and carers are mirrors to babies, and babies are directly learning about the world because of our emotional state. So a big part of what we do at Blossom and Berry is to recreate the village and to create safe spaces for parents to be seen and heard, to be understood, celebrated, and nurtured. Now, sadly, most of us nowadays in the West are parenting in isolation, and this is not the way it's designed to be. Only a few hundred years ago, we used to practice something called allo parenting. And this is where there'd be 5 or 6 members of the community who would share the responsibility for parenting. So it would be like putting the seed of potential, which is a baby, into the collective soil of the community, and it being cross-fertilized with all the gifts, skills, and abilities of other community members. And in this way, parenting feels more like a joy than a responsibility. Now, I had 3 children under 3.5, and that could have been super tense and overwhelming, but I was lucky and privileged that I had my family and friends to help me. But that's not the case for many people. So we set about to recreate the village, and we've done that in a number of ways. During COVID, when we couldn't gather together inside and parents were really struggling with their mental health and well-being, we created spaces to gather outside called Tree Babies classes, where parents could come and feel more connected to themselves, more connected to their babies with baby wearing, more connected to each other, and more connected to nature. And we now have over 300 parents and babies coming along to these classes. We also set up a project in Mexico to support parents and babies who had Down syndrome. Now, the babies really benefited from receiving nurturing touch, but what was even more incredible was to witness the parents of the babies with Down syndrome who had never met another parent who'd had this experience before, and they thought they were completely alone. And when they met and came together and realized they weren't alone, the tears, the laughter, the joy, the grief, the gratitude, it was incredible. And it really touched me. It's one of the most overwhelming and beautiful moments that I have had in the last 20 years of teaching baby massage. And then also I traveled to Malawi about 10 years ago to set up a mother and baby health initiative, teaching the importance of infant mental health. Now, I was a bit nervous about doing this because I didn't want to introduce something alien into the Malawian culture. I wanted to be respectful. So I taught Malawian women to hold space for other Malawian women. And then I left them to set up their groups, and I came back to the project 6 months later. When I arrived, I could hear the women singing beautiful songs, and I asked the translator, what do these songs mean? And he said, they mean massage helps my baby's heart grow stronger, massage helps my baby's brain to grow. And I knew that they had taken on these really important principles of infant mental health and made them their own. And they'd activated it in a way that really, really would have a lasting difference in their community. And as a result of those groups, the women actually came together to create sustainable farming programs to feed themselves and their babies. And they went on to create an entrepreneurial group as a result too. So the power of the village is absolutely huge, and it's so important to value it and create community. So one of my favorite quotes in the world that is framed and is on the wall in my house where I see it every day is, if we want to change the world, go home and love your family. We are all babies. We are all one family. We all make up humanity. Infant mental health is everyone's mental health, and we can change the world with love if we all play a part, because love creates love. If you're listening to this today and it resonates with you, I want to invite you to connect with me over at blossomandberry.com. Come and find out more about being part of this love revolution to nurture the future one baby at a time, because we have 1001 days to save the world. And I'm looking for more global teachers, nurture ambassadors to join me on this mission. So like this video, share it, subscribe, come over to blossomandberry.com. Tell me how you feel. It's time to nurture the future one baby at a time. And this is your invitation to join me. I'm sending you so much love.